Back after Easter. Hope you all had a good holiday. We're going to get straight into it with chapter 18.1, gradient of a graph. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to talk about the equation of a line. Then I'm going to give you a formula that's going to help us work out the gradient. Then I'll talk through some examples. And then I'll give you the work at the end of the lesson. So the equation of a line, we've probably seen it before. We have it, looks like this. Mx plus c, but let's pretend m and c are numbers. It's like this, so it's always y equals something x add something or take away something. This is what it looks like when we write it without numbers. This is just an example with the numbers in, so it's something x add or take away something, and this m, or the 3, is the gradient. So that's what we're going to work out how to learn today. And then as we move on, we'll get to this thing next time. But we're going to try and work out the gradient today. And we're going to use a formula to do that. So how we work out the gradient, what is the gradient firstly? The gradient of a line, so if we have a line like this, it's if you go across 1, how much does it go up or down? So it's how much it's changing as we go along the line. Okay, so what we do to work that out is we do the change in x sorry, we do the change in y, sorry about that, divided by the change in x. Okay, so how we do that is we take 2 points. So our first point, we have coordinates x1 and y1, so that just means x and y for that coordinate, and x2 and y2. Now this seems a bit confusing maybe, but once we get started it'll all make sense. And I'll just show you what the formula is. So we do change in y is you're going from y1 to y2, and you want the difference in them, so you take them away. And the same for the x's. So this is what we're going to use here. If that's confusing, like I said, we're going to use it in the questions and it should become a bit easier. Just going to say one more thing that might also confuse you, so you can skip if you like to. When they say change in maths, they sometimes use this symbol. It's like a triangle, and it means delta, the Greek letter delta. So you might have delta y over delta x. It's the same thing, but we're going to work it out this way. So let's do some examples. So here I have 3 lines, and we're going to talk through each one and then use our formula and find the gradient of each of them. So I'm going to write, actually in black, I'll write the formula we're going to use. So we wanted y1 take away y2 divided by x1 take away x2. Okay, so let's do the red line first. And what we do is we just choose 2 points. Okay, choose 2 points on the line and get some coordinates for them. Now I would always go for the easiest ones. We could choose like this point and this point, something like that. But why bother doing those ones up there? There's always nice easy ones where the lines cross the axes. Okay, so we choose make this 1, this 2. It doesn't matter which way around. So our first point has coordinates -1, 0, and the second point has coordinates 0, 1. Okay, so -1, 0, and 0, 1. Now we just put this in the formula. So the gradient of the red line is going to equal our y1, which is here. This is our y coordinate for the first thing, so 0, take away y2, which is 1, divided by x1, so here, -1, take away x2, which is 0. Okay, so what do we get? Well, we get minus 1 at the top, and we get minus 1 on the bottom. So minus 1 divided by minus 1 is just 1. So the gradient of the red line is just 1. And this we can sort of check on the lines quite often, especially when it's gradient like this, because this is really easy. What did we say gradient was? It's how much it changes as we go along the line. So if we go along one step, it goes up one step. So it's a gradient 1. Go along another step, goes up 1, and along and up. And it's always going up by 1 every step we go along. Okay? Oops, I'm going to redo that. Let's do another one. Why don't we do the blue one? So this, you can see this line's steeper than the red line. So the red line had a gradient of 1. This line is going to be steeper, so we know the gradient's going to be higher. Okay, we're going to do the same thing though. Let's choose, well, actually, let's do our sort of checking method. We're going to choose our 2 points. I'm choosing there again to make it easy because we've got zeros in there. And if we're going across 1, how much are we going up? We're going from minus 5 to 0. So I'm already going to say the gradient's 5. Okay, but we should check it. Oops. Let's check it. So we're going to choose our 2 points. We've got minus 5. The coordinate is 0, minus 5. And we have 1, 0. So I'm always choosing the ones on the axes to make it a bit easier. So it's this thing we're making. And we use our formula. Y1 is, so this is Y1, this is X1, X2, Y2. So Y1 is minus 5, take away Y2 is 0. And X1 is 0, take away X2 is 1. So you just have to be careful you get them in the right order, because that's where some mistakes can come in. If you do X1, if you do like Y1 take away Y2 and then X2 take away X1, then it's going to be wrong. Just make sure to follow this. Make sure you get it in the right order. So minus 5 take away 0 is minus 5. 0 take away 1 is minus 1. So yeah, we get 5. So there's 2 ways of doing it. Just use this if you're unsure. Or sometimes you can just see it. Okay, so the last line, the green one. Let's not use the axes this time, just to make it a bit more, so you can see how it might work. Now the green line is a bit different. We've had gradient of 1, gradient of 5, and now this other line looks totally different, and you're going to see why in a moment. You might be able to guess. When we go across 1, so let's go across 1, how much do we go down? Well, it's hard to see. I'll show you something on another example later on about our guessing, but we're just going to use the formula for this. So let's choose our 2 points. I want to use the axes, even though it's easier. I'm going to choose maybe, because I've drawn my graph, I will choose the axes because the graph isn't drawn that well because I've just done it on the iPad. So when you're drawing your axes, make sure to use your squares in your paper or use the ruler to measure them out. But we're going to use these. So we've got minus 2, 0, and we've got 0, minus 4. Oops. So I'll try and show you on another example later on. Okay, so we just do our y1 is 0, take away minus 4, divided by our y2, sorry, our x, see, I'm getting confused myself, x1, which is minus 2, take away 0. So we get 0 take away minus 4 is a positive 4, minus 2 take away nothing. So we get 4 divided by minus 2, so the gradient is minus 2. So we can see when it's a negative gradient, the line goes down. When it's a positive gradient, like these ones, it goes up. So it's minus 2, let's check if we go across 1, we go down 2. Yep. Go across another one, go down 2. Yep. Okay, so hopefully you're sort of getting the idea of these. Let's do one more example with a bit of a clearer space. So here we can try and guess maybe. So we're starting here, we go across one, how much do we go up? It's really hard to tell. So let's go across another one. How much do we go up? Still hard to tell. Go across here. So we had to go across 3 times to go up 1. So you might be able to guess what the gradient is. Okay. But if not, we're going to use the formula. So I like to do that guessing thing because it's much quicker. And once you get used to doing these, it's a bit easier. So remember, y1 take away y2, divide by x1, take away x2. Let's choose our points. Oh, I said I was going to do not on the axes. So let's do one of them on the axes, and this one here. See, this is like this. Okay, so this first one is 0, 1, and the second one is 3, 2. Okay, so again, probably makes more sense to use the axes ones, but you know. So we have our x1, y1, x2, y2. If you're unsure, you can label them, helps you out maybe. So y1, 1, take away y2, which is 2, divide by x1, 0, take away x2, 3. Now, it doesn't matter which way around you do. If I've chosen these ones as the ones, but you could have these one. You could have them the other way around. It doesn't matter. What's happening is I'm getting lots of negatives because I've done it this way around. But whichever way, it'll work both ways. So here we get 1 take away 2 minus 1, 0 take away 3 minus 3. So this is a third. So that's what I was talking about. We went across 3 times before we went up once. So we're going up a third each time. So 1/3, 2/3, 1. So we could have seen that maybe before we started. Anyway, hopefully that's helped you with this. It's all you really need for all the questions. I'll go through one last one. Sometimes they'll ask you something like this. Find the gradient of a straight line passing through these 2 points. So it's just the same as what we've been doing, but we don't have a picture. We've got our x1, we've got our y1, x2, y2. Let's do it really quickly. So y1, take away y2, divided by x1, take away x2. So we're going to get 2 over minus 1. So it's a gradient of minus 2. Does that make sense? Well, if I do a sketch, we're starting at 1, 5, so 1, 5, like this. And we're going to 2, 3. Oh yeah, we can see it's going down. Looks like it's going to be the right gradient. So again, this just sort of comes with practice. The more you do, the better you'll get. You should be able to spot them quite easily after you've done a few. But we're going to do page 166, which is the page I've been explaining through really. Can you do the first? Yeah, you should try and do all of them, all questions. And to be honest, the brains, find the gradients. The brains are as easy as the other ones. That's like the it's like the last example I did. It tells you to plot the points on graphs for the last few brain questions, but only do this if you're struggling because it takes a lot of time. So just try and do the questions by just using the method we did here. Also in the brains it's got 3 points, but you just choose 2 of them. Do them whichever way you want. And that's all. Just finding the gradients. Shouldn't be too hard. We'll have a Zoom lesson tomorrow anyway, so you can ask me questions about it then. You can message me if you're really, really struggling, or you can wait till tomorrow. That's fine. Yeah, have a go. Good luck. See you soon.